Alright, hello guys, how's it going? In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at that upcoming very major snowstorm. This thing keeps looking more and more major each day. We're also expecting to be in a quite active pattern afterwards here in the eastern United States. We're going to talk about all of that within this video. Anyways, before I get into this video, be sure to smash that like button, leave a comment down below, and subscribe for more weather-related content. For today's comment of the day, I want to know, do you think this could go down as the most major snowstorm for the eastern United States of the winter? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and I'll be picking one of those for tomorrow's video. Let's just get straight into this video, and first things first, we do have some storminess still around for this northwestern corridor here of the United States, as well as some storminess offshore of Southern California there that's likely heading kind of towards California there. We have some snow showers, pretty light to moderate snowfall going on up here for the upper Midwest and portions of the Great Lakes. Also some pretty isolated snow showers going on up here in the northeastern United States. And then we have some showers and thunderstorms down here for the southeastern United States. So the interesting thing here, looking at the overall pattern, is that there's a lot of different areas of precipitation. There's a lot going on, and if you kind of tune in daily with us here on these videos, you'll notice that this is a lot more active overall than we normally see across the country this time of year. But the interesting thing is that there's nothing really major going on at this point. So it's all just very light areas of showers, but there's a lot of it. So it's pretty interesting to see, unusual, I would say. Let's just go ahead and zoom in here to the northwestern United States. And this is probably the most major area of storminess is right here. And you can tell there's a low pressure system somewhere over here bringing quite a bit of heavy precipitation here, especially in western Washington there, and also northwestern Oregon there as well. Near Portland and Seattle are the two areas it's going to be approaching soon. So this line right here, it's actually past those regions a little bit, the first band, and now we see a second band moving on shore as well. So this is a pretty interesting situation. Probably going to be quite rainy off and on throughout the day for the northwestern United States. Now over here for Montana, we do have, in Montana and Wyoming and South Dakota, it looks like, we do have an area of showers up here. I guess not Wyoming, but mostly Montana and through South Dakota, maybe a little bit of North Dakota as well in there. Getting in on some of these random sprinkles and showers and little snow showers that are showing up for this region. So be on the lookout for some precipitation throughout that region. Let's move down to California. Like I said, there is some precipitation down here, a pocket of precipitation. And this is generally moving almost directly northward. So I wouldn't be surprised if we do see some rainfall coming up soon here for the Los Angeles and areas to the north of Los Angeles. This kind of area, Bakersfield up here as well. Wouldn't be surprised to see these areas see some precipitation a little bit later on today, maybe even in through tonight into tomorrow. Let's go ahead and pick our next region. We'll go here to the north central United States. Again, we're going to have to go to a lot of different regions today because there is so much going on. We'll focus on the snow first off. We've seen this kind of move down through these regions very quickly. It's kind of like a quick clipper system here. And we've probably seen maybe an inch for some regions come down with this. It's moving so quickly. You can look at the timestamp up here. But this is only about 7 hours, 6-7 hours of a loop here that we're watching. And this has completely moved out of these northern regions and down into these regions instead. So you're seeing maybe 3 hours of snowfall or so, and it's coming down at probably about a moderate pace at best, I would say. So I think accumulation is probably quite minimal with that, but I'd be curious to hear what you guys have to say if you are in that region, kind of how it's been. There's also been this kind of area of thunderstorms and showers, probably not thunderstorms with the temperatures, but very heavy showers actually developing in here. Des Moines there and down through Quincy and heading towards kind of St. Louis. I wouldn't be surprised if this hits directly in the St. Louis area kind of mid-morning into the afternoon today. So be on the lookout for that as well. This kind of area of just moderate to heavy showers of both snowfall and rainfall depending on elevation. Probably once we head into the daytime temperatures, it'll get a little bit warmer. Less chance of some of that snowfall sprinkling in. But we definitely will see those heavier showers, which is pretty interesting. Let's move down here to Florida, where we've seen some thunderstorms roll across the southern regions here of the Sunshine State here. The good thing is that hardly anybody lives down in this region, except for Miami here on the eastern seaboard of Florida. But really, this is a generally unpopulated region here. Well, we see Key West, obviously. My uncle actually lives in Key West. Beautiful, beautiful area. I love the chickens there, chickens running around everywhere. It's crazy. But we do see some more populated areas up here, seeing some of those thunderstorms that rolled through in the middle of the night last night, thunderstorms and very heavy showers. It's crazy to think how different the climate is down there in Florida. We're still seeing these showers and thunderstorms this time of year. Probably quite pleasant temperatures as well down here in southern Florida. So, hope everything's going good down there. Hope it's as sunny and warm as ever. But we have had some rainfall coming down, and you can even see some of those showers in the northern regions, or I guess the more central regions of the state as well, overnight tonight. So it's been a lot of precipitation overall for the southern 2/3 of Florida, but mostly that southern third, I would say, down here is where we've especially seen some of those heavier showers and thunderstorms roll through. Super interesting. Now, quickly, let's go ahead and take a look at some of these snow showers and rain showers taking place here in the northeastern United States, where we see generally mostly snowfall, I would say. It's pretty sporadic. Again, maybe if you're lining up perfectly, like maybe in this region where we've seen shower after shower, I would say if you're in here, there's a good chance you might have seen, you might have snowfall on the ground, or maybe not. I don't know what the conditions are like there currently on the ground, but probably an additional ½ inch, if you have any on the ground, could have taken place here for a lot of these regions. Also, we've seen a heavier shower roll through south of Syracuse here. If you take a look north of Binghamton, maybe right over Binghamton, but we've seen some heavier showers in this area as well. Wouldn't be surprised if we've seen some accumulation in there as well, but it's the same stories up there in Minnesota and those areas. Probably not much. So that's what we're taking a look at. Anyway, that's basically everything going on this morning on the current radar. And what we're going to do is we're going to move on and take a look at that model guidance, which I'm so excited to show you guys. Now, here we are taking a look at our European model. We're going to be walking through this. You can obviously tell what kind of pattern we're in right now. We've been talking about that for a while. Trough in the east, ridge in the west. And this is going to be going on quite a while. This is all the way moving towards the 14th. I have no idea why that just ended. There you go. All the way towards the 14th. Now, this storm out here, if this one connected, this would have been a monster. Obviously, it did not connect. 971 millibar low pressure system there, you can see. And it's just too far offshore, but this could have been an absolute monster, especially with the cold air in place. But right behind it, there's our actual snowstorm we're talking about today. We see this one dip down, just like this. And this does bring quite a bit of snowfall for this region. We're going to be talking about that in a little bit once we take a look at that total snowfall. It dives down. We see it all the way down here, bringing snowfall to Oklahoma, Missouri, Arkansas. This one is going to bring so many different people, so much snowfall. We actually have to switch to our 0Z model run here. And as you can see, we have still a ton of snowfall down there. That's Sunday morning time frame, about 2 a.m. So overnight, Saturday into Sunday. And then this is when things get really interesting. Sunday afternoon here, we see the low pressure system is somewhere over the Smoky Mountains here, which I am going to very, very soon. Actually going to be visiting the Smoky Mountains. I'm very, very excited for that. We do see that there is some snowfall taking place for sure for multiple states. Mississippi here, Arkansas, Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, Tennessee, even Georgia there, North Carolina, West Virginia, Ohio, and Virginia. I lost count of how many that is, but a lot of states. And this freezing rain is my biggest concern here for Georgia, South Carolina, and North Carolina. We'll talk about that as well a little bit later on. But I'm extremely concerned about the freezing rain because I think 1 inch of freezing rain is far worse than 20 inches of snowfall. Believe it or not, it is. It definitely is. You can shovel up snowfall. You cannot shovel up freezing rain. It's just not going to happen. Now, by the time we're reaching about the very late evening hours of Sunday, we see very heavy snowfall taking place in this region. A very large region, actually, for Ohio, Kentucky, Tennessee now, and then also the Mid-Atlantic still seeing freezing rain as well. Basically, if you're in this region here, unfortunately, you kind of got screwed over with some rainfall, and that includes me. So rest assured, we are all in this together. We can still see the pattern is holding true with this kind of a pattern. It's just the southeast ridge is just fighting just enough to get the jet stream to move just like this. And that's what's allowing this warm air to intrude into here and cause this to be rainfall. Also, the storm track being inland a little bit. As you can see, the low pressure system is about there as a 987 millibar low pressure system. And as we move this on, you could see interior northeastern United States is in for a huge one, 981 by this point. This is Monday afternoon. A long-lived storm here. Still trough in the east. That one doesn't move out until about Tuesday, and then it finally moves through, and it'll be all said and done. So for total snowfall on this model, you can tell where it tracks to, right up about like that. And we can see there's two major areas of snowfall, in my opinion, up here for the upper Midwest, then one here for our more eastern seaboard region, inland eastern seaboard region. And in general, this area is expecting a foot plus. I would say about a foot to 15 inches, and it's the same story over here, maybe a bit more for some of our mountainous regions here. So this is going to be more of your 10 to 20 inch amounts in here, and then I think about 10 to 15 in here. And in this region, I'm skeptical, but you could be looking at 6 to 10, maybe more for these more deep south areas. But typically, it's a little more rare to see large amounts down there, so I am kind of holding back a little bit. Let's zoom into the east here so we can get some amounts on screen. We do see, 12 inches plus, definitely near the lakes here. That could be a bullseye region. Also, the mountainous regions of New England in the northeast, Catskills, Green Mountains, White Mountains could be a bullseye area. But then also the Appalachian Mountains and the Smoky Mountains here seem like they could be a very, very large snowfall region, possibly the largest here. Some of these larger North Carolina mountains seeing closer to 20 inches in there. So I think that could be some of our larger snowfall areas. Now let's take a look at our GFS model real quick just to compare and contrast. We see that first major storm move through. Literally, this storm is more major than the one that we're actually going to get impacts from. It's just offshore. So missed opportunity there for sure for a huge snowstorm, but we do see this one move down. I'm thankful that we're seeing anything, obviously. I am not thankful for the freezing rain, though. I am concerned about that, actually. We do see heavy snowfall take place here on the GFS model as well. You can tell this model keeps this one much further south and east, so that's pretty interesting. We're seeing that snowfall much further eastward and southward in general. A little less freezing rain on this model, which is really good news. And then this one moves up, and it kind of is, again, further east, I would say, than the European model. Much more snowfall for these regions in general than the European model is showing. Let's take a look at the total snowfall here as well. This is lower resolution, by the way. But yeah, generally same story. A lot up here, and then a lot for the east as well. And this model says way less for down here, which I think is a lot more realistic. Let's zoom into the east again. And this model is calling for a little bit more, maybe 20 to 30 inches in here in our Smoky Mountains, as well as some areas up here in the northeast, and then throughout the Appalachians as well. We see some higher amounts. So this model is really keying in a lot more of those 20 to 30 inch amounts. So this one has it in a whole different category of snowstorm than our European model does at this point. But I think either is pretty realistic at this point, and I think they're really on par. We'll switch it back and forth. Pretty similar. You could tell the GFS here is much further east, and our European here is much further west. But in general, I think they're kind of getting their act together. They're starting to really key in on a pretty realistic outlook, in my opinion. Let's take a look at that total freezing rain. And anywhere from about 0.7 to about 1.25 inches of freezing rain is possible here from this area in Georgia through upstate South Carolina, through kind of this western central area of North Carolina, and then in through the central regions of Virginia. But I think especially in this pocket, we're watching for the heaviest amount, South Carolina and North Carolina. Unfortunately, we'll have to see how that pans out. I hope you guys get less than what this is calling for sure. Let's go ahead and take a look at it on the GFS model as well, and you can see a lot less. So we have to hope that this is the case. It's a smaller region. We still get about an inch in here, but it's a much smaller region, which would mean much less impact. So I'm really having my fingers crossed that this GFS model is correct. Now, guys, this is it for this video. Tune in tomorrow. We're going to start taking a look at those higher resolution models tomorrow. We're going to take a look at our RGEM model, our NAM tomorrow morning. We're going to get into the high resolution stuff tomorrow. I'm very excited for that, so be sure to tune in tomorrow, guys. Anyway, for today's confidence tab, we're at a 3 out of 6, but I do expect to move up to at least we're at a 4 out of 6. I do expect to move up to a 5 tomorrow. So be on the lookout for that. For today's comment of the day, I asked you guys, how much do you think is the maximum snowfall with this snowstorm? And James Marr said, I think 25 inches is the maximum amount of snow. And I think that's a really good estimate. That's right in between the European model with 20 and the GFS with about 30. 25 is a really safe bet, in my opinion. For today's patron highlight of the day, I want to thank you all for supporting the channel, but especially our platinum patrons: Bill Crates, James Wade, Dovin Nagel, Larry LePan, Mandy Birchfield, Patrick Strickland, Dave Scott, and Donna Carnes as well. I would also thank our diamond patrons: Bill Roberts, Marcus Connolly, Noah Harley, Michael Kodalasa, Capite, Charles Stinnett, Bill Dallas, Gary's, and John Colisi also. I would also thank our channel members Catbite, Stephen Fan, and Jeremy Cox as well. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Be sure to smash that like button, leave a comment down below, and subscribe for more weather-related content. I'll see you guys in the next video.